All right, a little bit late. What's going on? Welcome back to the basement. Amron, a little bit late. Had to record some things for some people, do some moving parts behind the scenes. But how are we doing? If you're in here, let me know. We're going to be wasting no time getting into a Puppy 2 draft here. How are we doing, fellas? If you're in here, let me know. If the stream's all right, if the quality's good, if I'm lagging, if the video's all right, whatever. All right, so we got GDLT in here. What's going on, brother? Ron, quit playing with me and start this up. Hey, man, we're in here. Now, I'm going to show the screen. We'll show the screen here. And we're going to hop right into one of these. So, as always, if you guys want to hop in here with me, promo code Ron. You hop in there, you use promo code Ron on UnderdogFantasy.com, and they will hook you up with up to $100 match on your deposit. Now, I'm actually going to take myself off of this, put the link to my promo code in the YouTube chat, and then we will be getting into one of these lickety-split very quick. Hit the like, yes, GDLT, the boy, the man, the myth, the legend. Let me put these above here. All right, we're going to be good to go here. All right, so I'm just going to put the link to my promo code in the chat, and then we'll get going, fellas. A little bit of a speed run today. Got some cool stuff playing behind the scenes. All right, so that is now pinned up. We're good to go. I'm going to get us into a draft here. Let me go screen. We are going to go draft. If anybody wants to hop in with us, we're going to go Puppy 2. And then I'm going to click enter. 3, 2, 1. Anybody wants to come in? Boom. You're in. These are going to fill up really quick because it's a puppy, but there are five spots remaining. Let me zoom this out for everybody. I think this looks okay. Let's put this here. So now this is the dreaded part of the video where I have to try and fit this on the screen to the best of my abilities. I think that looks good. Put myself up here. And the draft is filled, I believe. How are we doing, everybody? Let me know. I'm down to answer any questions, any redraft questions, any dynasty questions. I am here. I am for you guys for the next 40 minutes. How are we doing on this fine Saturday, fellas? Let me take the graphic off. We got Anthony in here. What's going on, brother? How are we doing? We got the 9 spot. I kind of hate the 9 spot, but it's all good. Let me grab some water. And I have no water on me. God damn. Is it time? I might just have to go haul ass and grab a water, bro. It might be time. I need to stay hydrated for this draft, fellas. I need to stay hydrated. How am I supposed to draft without a water bottle? I have found the water bottle. Let's go. How are we doing? What do we got? What do we got here? We got what's the word? You tell me, brother. You tell me, brother. Just got done at a volleyball tournament just in time to catch live. Love to see it, man. You and Hayden both moving CMC up to the 101. I'm assuming you're talking about Winks. That's dope. I'm glad that we're sort of aligned here. He said, oof, yeah, the 9 isn't great. Yeah, it sucks. Let me, I need to zoom this in, actually. That's what the issue was. Let's go 100 zoom. This is my bad, guys. I should really be taking time to format the stream before I hop on, dude. ESPN would have the stream formatted before they even hop on, dude. I'm not even in a suit. How do you guys even take me seriously, man? But yeah, the 9 sucks. I'm just joking around. I'm just goofing today, guys. I'm just goofing. Diggs is really the only one that I'm super interested in. I guess Eckler too. But then if Eckler and Diggs go here, so there's Eckler gone. If Diggs goes here, yeah. So Diggs goes here, and now you're staring down Derrick Henry, Najee, Devontae Adams, Kelsey. Should I go with the big dog just for the fellas? I'm open to it. Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams, Kelsey. I have so much Devontae. Let's go Devontae. Let's go Devontae. I don't think I'm gonna cool on Devontae until I'm at like 20% exposure, if I'm being honest with everybody. It's close there though. It's close. it's close. I'm open just going Henry there just to get my exposure up on him because I have that exclamation point, which means that under 5% of my money is invested in Derrick Henry. Right now I have this overlay on, which is from a guy by the name of Brick on Overzet's channel. He put out a video very recently on it. If you have any like questions there, you got to go to his channel. They pretty much go over the entire thing, how to do it, all that. But I have these exposures set up so that it takes into account all my puppies, all my BBMs, but it is split up by a percentage of money. So instead of just like straight up shares, so I know how much money I have invested in which player, if that makes sense. So it's a little bit more money skewed. Now I'm going to go back to draft board once we're done with this pick. Do not worry. What was I about to say, though? But yeah, I've been pretty open recently to just taking whatever the best player is per ADP and just kind of getting my exposures a little bit more naturally that way. But a good friend of mine, Jacob Sanderson, has put out some Devontae Adams hype the last few days, and I just wanted to get another share. What else we got? You said looking forward to the new season. Me as well, brother. Me as well. Oh my god, dude. So I'm staring down Aaron Jones and Mike Evans. I literally want neither. And Mike Evans, fellas, Mike Evans' ADP is getting ridiculous. I'm not taking Mike Evans at the 204. I'm not taking Aaron Jones at the 204 either. For me, this is very easily between Saquon, Mark Andrews, and Debo. Man, it is close between Saquon, Andrews, and Debo. It's very close between. Give me Saquon. I'll take Saquon. That's fine. This guy, you're calling me Eugene again, dude? Dude, you know what happens when you call me Eugene, bro. You're not going to be happy when you see what happens. What the hell am I even reading? CMC is my one as well. Yes, sir. We got a person hating on CMC. I'm so done with CMC. Why do people draft him so high? I get that he can be the best RB if healthy, but I don't see him being healthy. Here's the thing, Quentin. Here's the thing. Go back to college. 1 missed game at Stanford. 3 full years. Then go back to his first 3 years in the NFL. No games missed. So you're telling me he had 6 years straight of him being a healthy running back. Then we have the last 2 to 3 years of him not being a healthy running back. But here's the issue. None of them are ACL tears. None of them are Achilles tears. None of them are catastrophic injuries. They are shoulder, hamstring, quad, sprain, strains, whatever. None of them are super serious. He's coming into this season with a full bill of health. He is just as likely to get hurt as any of those top running backs. I would say Dalvin Cook is more likely to get hurt. If we're just looking at these top guys, I would say Dalvin Cook is just as likely to get hurt, and he's getting drafted in the top 6. Same with Derrick Henry. Same with Mixon, who started out his career pretty injury prone. Same with DeAndre Swift, who hasn't finished a season yet, a full season yet. Any way you want to cut it, most running backs are injury prone or have injury struggles of some kind at some point in their career. So I think deeming Christian McCaffrey injury prone while then also drafting guys like Dalvin Cook as Derrick Henry is trying to hit a moving target, and it's not great. What strategy? Yeah, we go wide receiver first in best ball sometimes. Do you still like avoiding running backs in rounds 3 to 4, etc., like last season? Yes, sir. More so in the round 4 to 7 range. I do like in that pocket. If we're going to talk about the dead zone running backs, I'm going to make a really good video soon on the dead zone. But I like Connor, even though my percent doesn't say so. I like Connor. I like Etienne. I like Akers. I like Hall. Sort of souring on Dobbins recently. But the rest of these guys, like Zeke, I'm not touching. Montgomery, I'm not touching. Elijah Mitchell, I want no part of. A.J. Dillon, not super interested in. But yeah. You think Chase can be top 3 this year? Top 3 what? Overall? Top 3 wide receiver? I think whatever it is, he can be the top 3. I think he can be the top 3 overall scorer outside of quarterback in fantasy. I think that's in his range. Very good player. What do we got? Hey, Ron. I'm in a Dynasty, and we just had our startup draft. I traded Keenan Allen for a 23 first, then traded Amon-Ra in a second for Tyreek Hill and Brandon Cooks. Were these good trades? I'd say so. I'd say both of those are solid. I love the Keenan Allen for 23 first. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown for Tyreek is pretty crazy. Amon-Ra in a second for Tyreek and crazy. Because, I mean, you're paying like a second for Brandon Cooks, and then you're paying Amon-Ra St. Brown for Tyreek. I don't know how that's even possible, brother. All right, so we're about to pick here. I would love to go Connor. Let me go Connor then, dude. James Conner is somebody that I have as like a, I think I'm going to end up with a good amount of James Conner. If you're just letting me get James Conner in this range, I don't see how I can't. I don't see how I can't. I have James Conner in the I have James Conner personally. I don't even love James Conner, but his profile is the exact same, in my eyes at least, as Fournette, who goes to the 208. I would have James Conner and Fournette like back to back in this 2-3 turn area. I think as soon as T. Higgins, Tyreek Hill, and A.J. Brown are off the board, I'm completely fine with James Conner. I'm not taking Mike Williams over him. I like DJ Moore, but I'm not taking DJ Moore over him. I just did a redraft rankings update today. I'm actually gonna peep real quick where I have Connor. Or a small update. By the way, patreon.com/Ron Stewart for my PPR redraft rankings top 150. I have James Conner at 25. I have him ahead of Keenan Allen, Michael Pittman, DJ Moore, Jalen Waddle, Kyle Pitts. There's nobody like once. I mean, at the 309, I'm taking James Conner. I have him as my 25th ranked player, and I don't even like players with the profile of a James Conner. I don't know, man. Maybe let me know. Talk some sense into me. If Jets and Dolphins finally contribute fantasy relevant players, it can be a very fun season. I agree. As a Jets fan, I would love for that to happen. Said you like Saquon. We're up in 2 seconds. That's why I don't have the draft board up. You said the thing for me is everyone I play against and they're all really good players. I have to take high risk, high reward plays like CMC and Saquon. I agree. I have some guys eyed up here. That would be a very fun start. Damn. I would have loved to go ETN there, man. I would have loved to go ETN there. Waddle's been sliding in ADP, man. I think this is very easily Waddle for me. I think it's close between him and Brees, but I don't really feel like reaching on Brees when I have so much of him already. Yeah, I have him at 23%. Yeah, so we'll go Waddle. Dude, Waddle's been following recently. I can't really think of why he's been following. I don't know why I can't say that, but he's at wide receiver 18 in ADP right now. And he started out probably like wide receiver 15, wide receiver 14. Like he was going in this area earlier this offseason. So I'll take the dip on Waddle very easily. I'm not even really that huge on Waddle, but I just think when you look at a guy who had 15 points per game as a rookie going into year 2 that has a lot of explosiveness in his profile that he hasn't shown yet, it's a profile I'll be betting on. It's pretty much that simple. What is an underrated offense that you think will move to top tier this year? My chalk pick would be the Eagles and the Raiders. My under the radar pick would be the Lions and Jets. I think that's a pretty good answer from me. In full PPR, are you taking wide receiver over any RB other than Taylor or CMC in the first round? I am taking Kupp, Chase, Jefferson over anybody not named Taylor or CMC. Chris Diaz, what's going on, brother? I recognize that name. He said, I'm in a Dynasty draft startup right now. I'm looking between Irv Smith, Darrell Henderson, Cole Herbert, Nyheim Hines. I think I'd probably go Henderson there, but it's very close between that. Yeah, you said David Montgomery's quintessential dead zone RB. Yeah, exactly, 100%. He would need to be what he was. Was it like it was Jonathan Taylor's rookie year when he was kind of like a league winner down the stretch, but he had a crazy schedule lineup for him. He had his backup get hurt. I traded Higgins for 223 first, Bateman for a 23 first, and Olave for a 23 first. As much as I love all those players, I think those are all great deals. To be honest with you, he said, "Oh, I convinced my friend wants to go productive struggle, and I convinced him he didn't need Cooks or Hill because they're too old." Jeez, dude, you are a I'm sorry, bro, but that's heartless. In Dynasty draft right now, in round 5, started with Pitts, Lance, Debo, and ETN. You think I should take Rodgers, Pittman, or Terry? I'd go Pittman, man. I think Pittman's... I think I'd go Rodgers. Lock in that second quarterback. Hold on. I gotta text my brother that the food got here. We ordered Chipotle. All right, so we're going to be up very soon. You said a rookie has finished as a top 15 fantasy wide receiver in each of the past 3 seasons. Given Atlanta's obvious need at the position, how far-fetched is it that Drake London keeps that streak alive? Anthony, you pose these questions so eloquently, brother. I think it's in the range. I think it's very much in the range that London, Burks, or Wilson can finish as top 15 wide receivers. Not saying all 3 of them will, but I think if I had to put a bet on one, I think it would be one of those 3. But yeah, I think London easily has the best chance. Great profile. Not a ton of target competition. This is very easily a DK Metcalf pick. My God. All day. Automatic. Scroll down. But yeah, I think Drake London's good a bet as any to do that. Wide receivers tend to hold value long term in Dynasty. That's why I like to draft guys like Dobbins and Etienne in mid rounds personally. Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Is percentage in red the shares you have? What is that, please? Yeah, the percentages in red is the percent of money I have invested in players. So instead of just like a straight up, I have about 100 teams drafted right now. In terms of just like the not the super flex ones. I don't want that impacting anything, but just in terms of 2022 BBM and puppy. Because BBM is $25, it's weighted that more than the puppies, and I just have it showing me the percentage of monies, percentage of entry fees that I've spent on players, if that makes sense. Yeah, so this is gonna have to be Amon-Ra St. Brown, sadly. I don't. It doesn't make me happy to say it. But yeah, this is gonna have to be Amon-Ra St. Brown. Just to get another wide receiver in there. This is kind of going to be a double, like a modified double hero RB, where we go wide receiver first, and then we sort of just build around Saquon and Connor. So I'm going to try and get really thin at those running backs and try and end up at 2.592. The issue is that I need elite tight ends and quarterbacks very soon. Did I pass up on any? I'm not taking Schultz. I'm not taking an unstacked Burrow. Yeah, there was nothing there that was interesting. What else we got? Pittman is who I would go. I think you're talking about the Dynasty question that I read off. It's cutthroat out here? What do you mean? I'm the guy... Oh, that you were the one that was doing your boy dirty, saying productive struggle? I'm the guy that always asks about your model. I appreciate that, Chris. Yeah, I remember you asking that. I love people who actually care about the model. I will say though, I'm gonna have to sort of blow the dust off the model after the season, because like now that we're out of Dynasty, I don't really have much reason to look at the RS grade database outside of sophomore comps and year 3 videos. But it's gonna be something that's kind of just going to be untouched for a while. Probably will sort of update the. I'll sort of update the what the hell am I talking about? I hate when I just like can't figure out what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna update the Devy part. Probably like midway through the season as we get some like better draft projections and some updated stats for those guys. But yeah, what else we got here? Got offered London for Jameson Williams and David Bell, Devonta Smith. I would take London over J-Mo and Bell. Smith and Ayuk for DK. I would take DK and London there. I would. Take on Swift this year. I'm thinking he has a monster season. I also think that he's going to have a monster season. Swift is somebody that I've grown to love. He's my RB4 at this point in full PPR leagues. But yeah, he has a great profile. I think the offense is trending in the right direction. Amazing offensive line. Really interesting spot for Swift. All right, so we are going to be up here in a second. If Schultz gets to us, I'll take him. I know somebody's actually saying here, why are you low on Schultz? If Schultz makes it to us right here, if Valentini does not take Dalton Schultz, I will. And I put that on God. Yeah, I'll take Dalton Schultz right here, dude. You're gonna give me like a 15 pick discount on him? I'll take him. The reason I'm not that high on him, man, I don't see Dalton Schultz as, so his ADP is 66. Hawkinson is 86. Goddard is 96. I don't see him as 20 picks a better bet than Hawkinson or Goddard. That's all it comes down to for me. I'm not paying 66 ADP prices for him. But if he's going to go 15 picks past his ADP and be in that same Hawkinson-Goddard range, I'll take that all day long. Very easy. Very easy to click the button on that. I have a little trick on my sleeve for this. But yeah, it pretty much just comes down to, I think he shouldn't be like 2 rounds more expensive than those guys. He's a fine profile, but it's not like he was some phenom coming out of college. He's not uber athletic. He is very much a Zach Ertzian type tight end. I don't want to pay 5-6 turn prices for that. That's all it comes down to for me. Who do you like number 2 overall in PPR league with extra flex spots instead of kicker and defense? JT and CMC top 2 for me, however you want to put them. They are saying Godwin is crushing his rehab and could be back a lot sooner. I'm still not buying it. I just don't want to get burned by that. It's not something that I really want to pay up for. But I have also heard that he is doing well, which I believe, but I don't think I'm going to bet on it until we're in August. He said, you like the basement merch? I can win. You hope I can win one in the giveaway. Well, I will say, dude, not a lot of people have entered the giveaway on the Patreon. Right now, if you guys aren't aware, I'm doing a little bit of a giveaway on the Patreon for the basement t-shirts. I actually just came out with some merch. We bought the inventory. I'm going to be doing one for non-patrons as well, where we do a giveaway on the YouTube. I'll probably talk about it in Tuesday's video. I can show you guys. All right, so we're actually going to go Dak here. Dude, I crushed that turn. Dak stacked with Schultz. I told you guys you needed quarterback and tight end. We got him. All right, so let me put this back on here. I'll be right back. I just want to show you guys what the merch looks like. All right, here it is. This is. I was wearing this earlier, but I had to record a video for Underdog, so I put their incubator shirt on, which is obviously amazing. So here's the shirt. Right, that's the front. It's not anything too flashy in the front, just a black tee. Now again, this is my worn shirt. I was with Winnie earlier. If there's hair on it, it's whatever. But the back is the sweet part. I talked to some like underground designer on Fiverr and sort of talked to him about a design, and he came up with it. I think it's sweet. So it's the basement, and it's me on the couch, sort of like smoking a cigar or whatever, and it's Winnie, my dog, chilling on the couch. I think it's pretty sweet. It looks dope. I paid I think like $400 for inventory. Some of my friends have them now. I have some. I have 15. I'm giving away 10 on the Patreon. I'm giving away 5 to just general subscribers. And I'll give you guys more info about that giveaway on Tuesday. Because I only have 15 shirts. I don't want to just value the people that can click on a link and, just buy a shirt on some website. I'd rather it be a giveaway where it's a little bit more random and it's a little bit more giving everybody a chance out instead of just a free for all to get in line first. Now, if there's a ton of demand for it, and you guys on YouTube want it, and the patrons want it, I've already been in talks with Underdog. They said that they will pay for the next big shipment if there's demand for it. So, if you guys kill it, enter the forum. Even though there's only 15 shirts that I have to offer, there will be more on the way if you guys decide that you like them, and want to order them. So let me know. Let me know if the shirts are fire. They look good. Whatever. All right, so now we're up here. We have quarterback and tight end. We're pretty much free to do whatever we would like in this spot at the 908. Nothing really gets stacked here. Robert Woods is like kind of interesting as a guy that I don't have a ton of right now. I actually want to take James Cook. I don't have a lot of James Cook. I think it makes sense in this build to take a stab at a James Cook, so why not? You said that shirt is sick. Jeez, appreciate it, brother. Anthony, very dope image on the back of the shirt. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are the boys for that. We put in a lot of work behind the scenes on that. I feel like I didn't just want to come out with just like some stock merch of like maybe I'll rip off of some other brand's logo or some other brand's font and just kind of put something out. It's something that I think is dope, and obviously, like, it's just a giveaway. I'm not really planning to make a huge profit on them. It's really just to kind of promote the brand and sort of just spread what is the basement, But yeah, I figured that's pretty cool. What else we got here? School's kind of kicking my... Also, if you're on the Patreon and you want to be put into the giveaway for the shirt, I have posts on patreon.com, and I have posts on the Discord right now in the general. But outside of that, if you're not a patron and you just want to be in the general giveaway, I'll put details on that on the next video I put out, probably like Tuesday. All right, so let's get back here. We're going to come back around on this turn. There's nothing that I like on the board. I'm gonna have to take a player that I have a billion shares of, and I do not care. I said school's kind of kicking my ass, but I'm trying to make my own soon for my resume. Oh yeah, you were talking about making your own model. That would be sweet. We'll go Wilson. I have a million shares of Wilson, but it just makes sense here. It just does. I have Seattle. It's a bring back. I think, again, Wilson's a guy that I have neck and neck with Treylon Burks and Drake London. I don't know why he is such a discount. I think by August, there's no way you'll be able to get him at the 10.04. There's no way. You said you don't think Mayfield is really any better than Darnold. I would argue that he is. Thanks for the info about the red percentages. I'm new to Underdog, but I don't have that on mine. How do you turn that function on? Thanks, man. Very helpful tool. Here's the bad news. I pay $25 a month for it. It's an extension that is called Sports HUD. I'm really exposing myself, showing you guys all of my extensions. But yeah, it's called Sports HUD. It's made by a guy named Brick. He's one of Overzet's pals. $25 a month. You have to like upload your own CSV. It's kind of a bitch to do. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not gonna cap, but it is a really cool tool. I'd only recommend it for people that are going to be in over like 50 leagues, or else it's probably not really worth it. I'll try and put the link to buy it down below. But if you just look up like Sports HUD, I think it should be okay. DJ Moore or Pittman in seasonal leagues. I would probably take Pittman, but I have them back to back. What do we got? You said, oh shit, Robert Hunt in the chat? Is there actually Robert Hunt in the chat? Yeah, there is. Didn't Robert Hunt do the, like he picked up like the fumble or maybe not even the fumble, maybe he caught a pass on like a screenplay or something. He like went over and reached out for the end zone and looked like an idiot. But that was hilarious, dude. I remember watching that on like a Thursday night and just dying with my boys. Like, it was genuinely hilarious. What else do we got, fellas? Feel free, light me up with questions, whatever. What else we got? Bro, you don't want me to pull up the Baker Mayfield stats. I will pull up the Baker Mayfield stats if you need me, bro. Oh boy. We have been asked about the Big Dog Bash. Seems to be a really polarizing topic, not only on like Twitter, but on YouTube and everything. What I'll say about it, I have all the respect in the world for Nick, man. I think it's really crazy. Like, it's very vulnerable, man. I couldn't imagine putting in 5 months of something, work into something for 5 months behind the scenes. You can't tell anybody about it. And it's a super vulnerable moment for him because NFTs, they were hot. They're kind of a meme at this point. So you do open yourself up to a lot of pushback. He's probably in a spot, too, where he doesn't even really need the money from an NFT project. But it's really brave of him. Releasing something outside the box like that. Like, you're really opening yourself up to a lot of criticism, a lot of negative comments, a lot of doubters. Also, like, if it doesn't fill, right? There's 1,200 spots, but it doesn't fill. That's another, like, nightmare he'll have to deal with. So I got, again, nothing but respect for him. I won't personally be in it. I just don't... The way that I play fantasy, it's all really just related to what the prizes are. Hold on, we're about to pick here. Do we have... So I have Dallas. Dallas is stacked with Tennessee. Giants, Arizona, Atlanta, Las Vegas. No, nothing's really making sense there. Let's actually go... I don't have a ton of Jacoby Myers. Let's go Jacoby Myers. Let's actually go Galladay. Let's go Galladay. I don't have a lot of Galladay. But yeah, in terms of Nick and that type of stuff, again, a lot of respect for him. I personally won't be in there because it's like $350 to enter, and when you have like 1,200 people, it should be this like massive prize. But I think you pay $350, your own league, you only get paid out $50 for first place, which is tough. I at least want to make my money back if I'm in a tournament and I'm in first place in my own league. So it's really tough. It's really top heavy. I think there's like the rake on normal sites are like 10 to 20%. I think the rake there is maybe more like 60 to 80%. I will say on the other side of that, you could say, well, you're signing up for 3 years, so it's really the buy-in's only like 120. So the rake isn't as bad if you look at it that way. But yeah, I think if you really believe in Nick and everything that he does, sure, go for it. I think it's really cool what he's doing. I think He is a pioneer. He is the first person to do this, where one man in front of a camera, recording fantasy football. Or at least I would say him and Nick Zylak. But yeah, a lot of respect. A lot of respect for him. Just personally won't be there. You said, I think the perception of Baker is so much. You said, I think the perception of Baker is so much worse because he played through a shoulder injury for so long. Yeah, I agree. Fellas, do not make me pull up the Baker stats. I will pull out the Baker stats and it will not be a fun time. I can't stress enough. I'm just goofing. I am just goofing. So anything that I say here cannot and will not be used against me in a court of law. All right, so we need to end up here at a 2.592. We need 2 more running backs. We need a tight end. We need a quarterback. And we need 3 more wide receivers. I'm looking here. I'm open to Komet. I haven't really been paying attention to stacks and bringbacks and stuff. I'm looking through. I have no clue what we're going to do for our second quarterback. I think we can get pretty thin with Dak, though. I'm even cool with Danny Dimes. I'm cool with Zach Wilson. I'm cool with Mac Jones as well. What's this guy always Chiefs going to take? Jameson Williams? Okay, so I'll take Jacoby Myers, and that's fine. We'll take Jacoby Myers to be on the other side of that Miami Jalen Waddle type thing we have going on here. So that's good. What else we got? Again, dude, I will pull up the Baker stats right now. You said NFT is like Pogs and Beanie Babies. I don't know what Pogs are. But yeah, Beanie Babies, I guess. I'm not even really an NFT doubter. I actually own a Top Shot. I did Top Shot content last year when there was like a little bit of a bubble for it. I made pretty decent money on Top Shot. But I do agree that NFTs, it's just a rough part. I think it's tough trying to make money off of it. I agree. This is pretty much my sentiment. All the respect in the world for Nick. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now without Nick, and I do think that this whole idea is very ambitious. Like he didn't have to go out of his way to do this. I think that he is trying to do something different, make a mark. I got to respect him for that. What do you think of Tua this year? A few more weapons. Oh my god. This guy's talking like he is Robert Hunt. I'm a threat at the goal line. Personally, not a huge fan of Tua, but at the same time, I do respect that there is a bounce back scenario. Or not even a bounce back, but there is a year 3 breakout scenario where he's just sweet. I still do remember I liked him coming out of school. He was a very solid prospect. Just from a real life football perspective, because now that I've done the RS grade modeling stuff with prospects, I now realize he wasn't that great of a prospect because he didn't run the ball. He, even though that we sort of perceived him as this mobile quarterback, in college he didn't run the ball at all. He fits into this category of guys like Jared Goff. I'm trying to think of the other statue guys, but like Jared Goff and Sam Bradford. So that's kind of the mold that he was coming in with. Now among those guys that were pocket passers, didn't run the ball, he is maybe the best prospect my model has ever seen. So he is a conundrum because I do think in real life he's a good prospect. He hasn't shown anything as of lately, but he has been hurt. He hasn't had insane weapons. Everything's going to be in front of him. It wouldn't be crazy for me to see him be like the most improved player or have a QB1 type fantasy season just off of like efficiency and like 35 passing touchdowns. I don't know. I'm rooting for him. I hope he's okay. Personally, though, I do think the upside is there. I think that scenario is there, but on the median, my expectation, not huge on Tua. I don't think that. I think it's probably less likely that he has that scenario. I also don't think that he has like a scorched earth type upside scenario where with like Trey Lance, for instance, Trey Lance could just be the QB1 in all of fantasy and have a Lamar Jackson or a Patrick Mahomes type year 2 in his range. I don't think that's what's in store for Tua. What else do we got? All right, so we have a pick here. Trevor Lawrence is like kind of in play, but I don't want to. Tolbert could be fun just for Dallas stacks, but I think that I could also just go with James Washington later on. Tyler Algier is interesting. Matt Ryan, Danny Dimes. Let's go Danny Dimes. It doesn't feel great, but And they both have a week 9 bye. That's fine though. That's fine. We're not drafting another quarterback. I don't care about the week 9 bye. Is it ideal? No. What'd you say? Carolina coaches will decide Baker/Darnold debate in about a month. In about a month and a half. Boring take, I know. Yeah, but I just don't see it not being Baker. He said, shout out Nick Zylak, first fantasy creator I found on FFA, produces a unique variety of content. Yeah, I agree, man. He's him and Ercolano, pioneers in this space. I would say kind of the first wave of fantasy football was the fantasy footballers on here doing a studio podcast type setup. But I would say in terms of one man talking to the mic, Nick Zylak, Nick Ercolano. I don't know who else you'd really put in that area. In terms of just guys, in terms of like the founding fathers of YouTube video content for fantasy football. I guess you could probably put like the Fantasy Couch in there as well, if any of you guys know him. You'd have to be an OG to know that. Appreciate you giving your thoughts about that, Ron. Yeah, of course, man. I'm always down to talk about whatever. I will say, me and Nick have a weird relationship where I think he's sick. I emailed him before he even started the channel. I was like, hey, man, like, what do you suggest? All that. And he gave me some help and stuff. But there has been, especially starting out, there's been so much like, oh, you're just trying to be Nick Ercolano. A lot more early on. I think now I've sort of found my voice a little bit better. I think also people don't understand, man, even like just in terms of like videos, in terms of like stand-up comedy, in terms of just like performing in front of others, even with like music, you do take your inspirations, you sort of rip off them until you can kind of find your own voice. Like you can look at like Led Zeppelin and a lot of his influences of like Terry Reid and stuff like that. A lot of people do just start out kind of copying people who found success and then they sort of branch off. I think that's kind of what I've done. I'll be honest with you guys. I think starting out, I did sound a little bit like Nick Ercolano, where I saw him doing what he does and it was successful for him. I thought maybe I could do something similar. But I do think now I've done a good job of kind of finding my own voice in this space. So what are we up to now? Giants, Dallas. We have a tight end. Do we go Ty Davis Price? Yes, let's go Ty Davis Price. I'm going Ty Davis Price there because we got San Fran, we got Las Vegas with Devontae Adams, so it kind of plays there. You said McLaurin or London in Dynasty. Give me Drake London all day long. Very clean prospect, young guy. Hold value for longer. What else we got? Trying to think of other examples of that. My favorite comedian, Shane Gillis, he's talked about the fact that he just kind of ripped off Louis C.K. coming up. So yeah, I can confidently say if you want to go back to my videos, like those first 3 months, definitely took a lot of inspiration from Nick. What else do we got? We got Herbert going off, Wentz going off. I will say I'm not loving this team. I usually am a lot more aware of stacks and stuff. I just haven't been. I've been struggling a little bit with that because I usually literally queue up every stack, every week 17 stack, but I haven't been doing that recently just because I do think that when you do that and you're just hunting out those week 17 stacks, it just narrow your player combinations, if that makes sense. You kind of start falling into the same trap. So I've been trying not to do that and just have it as like a background thing in these final 5 rounds as I'm trying to sort of set things up here. Like what, Giants versus Colts. We have Dallas versus Tennessee. So something like a Dontrell Hilliard as our last running back, it makes sense, or a Hassan Haskins. I think James Washington makes a ton of sense. Let me actually start starring these guys. I want James Washington as one of my last wide receivers. In terms of Giant stacks, we already have a triple stack there, so we're fine. Can we get any more of that Raiders San Francisco stack in there? No. Jets, we have Jets Seahawks. I'm actually down for Jets tight ends. Right? In terms of, I mean, I'm looking at the tight ends that we have available here. Jacksonville, Hurst. I don't think nothing really stacks to our quarterbacks. Nothing makes a ton of sense. Hunter Henry is gone. I will say I do just like Njoku and Ingram. I think guys who make sense for our stacks would be Uzoma and Conklin if we want to get that far. I'm trying to see what else we have here. Detroit, no, nothing's too interesting. Colts don't really have a backup running back that's fun. Colts, Giants, Titans do. So let's actually look at the Titans running backs. We'll start up Hassan Haskins and the other guy. So we'll go Hassan Haskins, Dontrell Hilliard. We are looking for San Fran, Las Vegas stacks as well. Miami, New England. Okay, so we have a couple of things that make some sense. Said, who do you like better, Haskins or Hilliard? I kind of like Hilliard better, man. It's really tough to say, though. Let me look here. Darrell Williams, I do not want. Let's make this Evan Ingram. We'll make this Evan Ingram. Boom. We need 2 more. So we don't need any more tight ends. We don't need any more quarterbacks. Yes, both my quarterbacks have the same bye week. I do not care. The reasoning behind that is they're going to be that much stronger the rest of the weeks. And if you're going to win any money in the end, your team needs to be so strong that it can withstand having both quarterbacks on bye. Yeah, I also agree Hilliard for this year. My only issue is that if Derrick Henry goes down, they might lean on Hassan Haskins because he's a bigger, broader back, and he kind of looks the part of what Derrick Henry can do, where Dontrell Hilliard's kind of this space receiving type back. So that's my only pause there, is just archetype. But I think it does speak a lot, or it does speak volumes that they could have brought back Deonta Foreman and they decided not to, and instead they brought back Dontrell Hilliard, despite both of them looking good in spots last year. So I think that kind of tells us a little bit of information about that, that they do like him quite a bit. Hold on here. I do like Fuller in this area. I think he makes sense. I think Fuller makes sense. I think Julio makes sense. If he goes to Tennessee, we kind of have like a Tennessee versus Dallas thing going on there. Hamler's fun, but he doesn't really do anything for us in terms of Denver, KC. Washington, Cleveland, we have none of. So yeah, I think that makes sense. And then Kendrick Bourne's the other side of our Miami, New England. So Jacoby, whatever, with Waddle on the other side. So you said, do you focus on Week 17 stacks because of previous winners, or just so you can have correlation if you make it to the end? Pretty much just to have correlation if you make it to the end. I will say the last year's winner had guys from that Seahawks versus Lions game. So that was Rashad Penny. I think Metcalf was sick that week. Russ might have been sick that week. I want to say Amon-Ra St. Brown was very good that week. Possibly Swift. But at the very least, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Rashad Penny were in that game, and those were the 2 players on the winners team in terms of like the Best Ball Mania tournament. So it's a little bit that we've seen it work, and then it's also a lot of just having Week 17 correlation where you don't take any of your previous scores with you. Like a lot of tournaments will give you like the average of your weeks 1 through 14 weeks, but in this one you don't get that. So we're looking at Fuller, we're looking at Kendrick Bourne. Let's go Julio Jones, because I do think, let's say I think that he probably could sign back with the Titans, and if that happens, we have a great stack with him and Dak. And if he doesn't sign back with the Titans and he goes somewhere cool, like the Packers or the Buccaneers, I doubt he stays a 16th round pick. So let's go Julio there. We'll go Julio. Our next wide receiver that we're banking on is James Washington. And then we're hoping for Dontrell Hilliard or Hassan Haskins, and we'll be good to go. What do we got here? You said, in a 6-point passing TD league, are you more bullish on Mac Jones? Seems like everyone is projecting improvements for the 2021 class of QBs except for Mac Jones. I have actually really come around on Mac Jones. I think at his price in redraft, it's a fine price. You're paying, like a 15th round pick. You probably went late 14th? Yeah, I think he's a fine pick there. He's actually, I think, a lot more mobile than given credit for. He actually ran, if you look at leading quarterback rushing yards, he wasn't awful. Now, he wasn't like a plus in that category, but he wasn't bad. And I also think he can take a step forward as a thrower. He wasn't really asked to have a ton of pass attempts last year. I'm just checking player profile to see player profiler to see what he ranked in rush attempts per game. So here's the thing. He had 129 rushing yards, 44 carries. That's not terrible. 129 rushing yards, I think, gets him, like, what was Burrow? Just as a, let me see what Burrow was at. So 129 rushing yards against Burrow's 118. So Mac Jones had more rushing yards than Joe Burrow last year. And I know Joe Burrow tore his ACL. That number should bounce back this year. But I think it is something worth mentioning as something pretty interesting in terms of just, like, Mac Jones he isn't mobile, but he's not this complete statue. He's also been getting bigger. I'm pretty bought in that he's going to be a solid NFL quarterback in that Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr type mold of just a solid NFL starter for years to come. Matt Ryan. So, yeah. So we're going to go James Washington here. We'll go James Washington to stack with Dak Prescott because we have Dalton Schultz, no other Cowboys. So we'll go James Washington there. And then we'll get one of Haskins and Hilliard with our next pick. Who are your number 2 rookie running back and wide receiver? Walker Burks. Yes. I feel like Haskins is the handcuff, but Hilliard can catch some passes regardless. Yeah, that's fair. You ever done 2 best ball drafts at once? More? Yesterday I was actually playing with fire, man. I started up 3 drafts, then 4, then 5. Then I think I got up to 6, and then that was where I maxed out. But it was very difficult. Let's see if I have a picture of it. But yeah, I started out with 3. I maxed out at 6 drafts at one time. And I drafted like 10 teams in the span of, I want to say, like an hour 30. So it's a fun way, especially on the puppy, when you're just trying to jam entries in to sort of get that out of the way. But yeah. I saw you did some podcast with Player Profiler. I have an application for their internship in right now. You should tell them to hire me. I could put in a good word for you. I will say it'd be a lot easier to put in a good word for you if Larky still worked there. Larky's the boy. But no, they do great intern stuff. I know. I remember some of the names of their interns. I want to say they have a guy named Ahan that's doing stuff. Could have just butchered his name though, so I'm gonna chill on that. We got Haskins. We got Dontrell Hilliard. I really don't know who I should pick, guys. We kind of already have pass catching in James Cook. Here's the thing: we have 2 rookie running backs. I'm just gonna go Hilliard because I don't want 3 rookie running backs. I don't know. I think that I'm probably just being weird. Unless somebody takes Hilliard from out from under me, I'm gonna go Hilliard just because, again, I just feel weird taking 3 rookie running backs. I don't know, but yeah, this is a very classic double hero RB build. I think it's a solid team. I don't think it's anything amazing, but I think structurally it is sound. I think it's good. What else do we got, fellas? I'm gonna make this pick and then dip because it's getting very late. It's 10:15. My dinner's getting cold upstairs, and Winnie's been in the crate for forever. So we'll make this final pick, and then I will bid you guys adieu and have a great Saturday night. Hope you guys are staying safe, hanging out with friends and loved ones. Dontrell Hilliard, boom. There we go. Hey, we got Kyle in here. I don't know to call you Kyle or Kyle's Money, but I know that you comment a lot of my stuff. We interact on Twitter. You're the boy. But it also sucks that you're kind of coming in here on the tail end of things. But this is the team on the right-hand side. Dak, Daniel Jones. I know they both have the same bye weeks. It does not matter in best ball. It's not the end of the world. Saquon, James Conner, James Cook, Ty Davis Price, Dontrell Hilliard. Classic 2-5-9-2, but we go double hero RB. Devontae, Waddle, Metcalf, Amon-Ra, Wilson, Galladay, Jacoby, Julio Jones, James Washington, Dalton Schultz, Evan Ingram. Solid team. Textbook double hero RB 2-5-9-2 build. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. We should be back to our regularly scheduled programming starting Tuesday all the way through Sunday. I will see you guys then for a banger video. Have a good Saturday night.